Hello everyone, welcome to the SIUK India webinar. Thank you for joining us. We are now live with Bangor University. Today we have Callum and Pranshu with us. They will be taking us through this webinar. We'll answer all the questions after the presentation during the Q&A session. So let's start the webinar. Over to you, Callum.
Amazing. Thank you very much, Yuti. Hi, my name's Callum. I'm the recruitment manager for Bangor University. And yeah, we're joined here today by Pranshu, who is one of our alumni as well from India. So we're going to do a little Q&A session alongside him after I've done a short presentation. Um, so I just need to work out how to share my screen. Got it, didn't you worry? Lovely. And yeah, so I'm just going to go over a brief few things about Bangor, really, just to give you an understanding in case any of you don't know who Bangor are, what we offer, what makes us unique, and how you do the whole application process here with Bangor University and coming to study in the UK. So as mentioned, we are Bangor University. We're a Welsh university. So we're based in Wales. We're based in North Wales. We are a city within our own right, but we're a very small city. We were the very first capital city of Wales until Cardiff came along and stole that from us. But although we are a rural city, we are very well located. So, as you can see here, London is only about 3 hours on the direct train. Manchester, Liverpool within a couple hours as well. So you do have great access to those bigger cities if you wanted to go explore them, but you do have that great home comfort of Bangor. The student population make up around 30% of the entire city. So it's a very, very community-led area, which is really nice. It's a great place to feel at home, make lots of friends, and, have that experience. Um, North Wales is growing in popularity, so it is a top 4 place to visit in the Lonely Planet Guide. And you might have seen Wrexham has had a documentary on Netflix not that long ago because Ryan Reynolds, the movie star, has bought the football club there. So there's a lot of A-list celebrities around North Wales at the moment, which is always exciting to have. Um, we're very close to a ferry to get over to Ireland. So again, lots of adventure and places to have. We are a very unique environment. You've got the sea in front of you, and then behind you, you have the mountains of Wales. So it's a beautiful place to be. There's no pollution. It's a very clean area. So it really is a lovely place to come study with a great environment around you. Got a few of our different accolades here. So as you can see, we are a top 500 university by the QS rankings. We're voted #1 university in Wales by the Daily Mail, top 5 UK University of Year by the What Uni Student Choice Awards. And then the Times and Sunday Times Good University Guide, they've also ranked us second for our teaching quality. So you will be learning from some of the very best teachers in the country. And then we're also second for our student experience. So I'm sure we'll hear from our alumni a bit later on about the great student experience he had and the great time he had studying at Bangor to do his master's degree. Our student union plays a big part in helping that student experience. So we've got over 170 different clubs and societies that students are able to join, all completely free. So all the charges that other universities might charge you for joining a club, we at the university subsidize those costs. Really important to make sure you're making a great network of people because, part of university in the UK is all about networking and building those relationships. So it's really key that you get to do some of that as well. As I said, with over 170 different clubs and societies, if you've got a hobby that you enjoy or, you want to take up a new hobby, chances are there's a club or society for that. So it's a great opportunity for you to meet people from all over the world, from different backgrounds, from different subjects, and be able to make friends and connections that way as well. We also have Pontio, which is our new build area. So you should hopefully see that in a little video I'm going to show you later. But it's very much the modern part of our university. We've got a very historic area and a very modern part. So there is a great co-working space. There's lots of different social spaces there as well. Lecture halls, theatres, cinemas, bars and cafes as well. So really is exciting things that happen there as well for students to be able to feel part of a community. We've also been voted third for accommodation. So we've got fantastic accommodation. I believe this is the third or fourth time in years in a row that we've been voted in the top five for our accommodation. And we've also just been nominated as well for the What University Student Choice Awards for the 2024 for our accommodation. So yeah, we've got really great accommodation. They do a lot there for students. So, for students, they do different activities. They do barbecues in the summer, yoga sessions. They do different away days. So they put on buses for away days, movie nights, quiz nights. So there's a lot of social activities that happen around accommodation, which is great. Accommodation isn't far from campus either. So as I said, we are a small city. So everything is in within like a 15-minute walking distance. So you don't need any public transport or any of those costs. You don't need a car. It's all very easy to walk there as well. Prices do range, so you can have some which have a shared bathroom, some which have an ensuite. You'll always have a shared kitchen, so you can really design that kind of family community driven, cooking for each other, which is really great to have. And again, I know I've spoken to our alumni Pranshu, and he's got some great stories of how he met people through the different ways of cooking. Food really does bring us all together. So again, hopefully we'll get to hear more of that story if we've got time later on. Then we have our international support. So the team here at the International Student Support Office do a lot to help international students. We know that as long as we make you feel happy, feel comfortable, feel at home, and if we can support you in every single way we can, you will do better in your educational studies. So we do an awful lot to make sure those kind of pillars of support are there for you as a student. The team here will do an awful lot to make sure you're ready. So they'll do airport pickups. They'll do helping when you want to change your visa to the post-study work visa. Healthcare. So when you first arrive and you need to sign up to the doctors, they'll help you do all that. Any like general welfare issues, they are there to help you that as well. If you're on a course where it involves like traveling abroad for a certain bit of time as part of a module or something like that, this team is there to support you through that as well. So they're a fantastic team, and we're really proud of actually the support they do, and maybe they offer students. And it's really key that you've got that support. You're not alone when you come over to study here in the UK. The university has a lot there to support you. I'm going to play you a quick video now so you can kind of see Bangor. As I said, it's a very picturesque place. It's got the sea in front of it, the mountains behind it. It's a real beautiful place to come study. And I think me just describing it to you probably doesn't do it any justice. So I'm hoping that this video will kind of show you the beauty of Bangor.
Chose Bangor University because it's not only rich with history, but I wanted to be a part of an institution which is modern, cutting edge, and is focused on making a difference in society. The university got the most traditional love, but then again, this kind of gives you both perspectives, so you can feel like you're living in the modern world, but you have that connection with the history as well, which is kind of amazing. Standard of teaching is very high quality. The university helps you to implement the skills that you have learned, to be able to use them when you're working in a very modern setting. Not only you're being taught about academics, but also they're teaching you how to be a better human. So they're actually trying to help you in every single domain. I think Bangor University gives me a really good hands-on experience and also prepared me for actually going to the real world to take out the influences she surface here. So if you've got any questions about CV or anything, you just go and ask. If you want to do placement or if you want to find jobs, they got really good connections, they provide us good opportunities for like internships and give you advice to do up your CV. I feel like I'm a part of Bangor University. They have student support. People are very friendly here. They have a lot of club and society, art, drama, sports, like everything. It's really amazing. Vacation at Bangor, the mountains and sea. It's so naturally beautiful here. A lot of hiking in Snowdonia. It's one of the most beautiful national parks in the world. You don't have to take a bus to your lectures. Everything is in walking distance.
the fact that Bangor University, the lifestyle is so affordable than any other place, like you do so many more new things, and I feel like it's definitely improved the quality of my life. I think there are a lot of things to take away from Bangor. We do a lot of sustainable projects here. The Students' Union, they run a project every week. We go litter pick around nature reserves or bike paths, walking paths. It feels very rewarding, and I will definitely be taking that to wherever I go next.
If you're looking for somewhere to study friendly and supportive, I think here will be the best because they really care. This is the best decision that I decided to come to study at Bangor University, and I'm so proud to study here.
Perfect. So yeah, just so you can kind of get that imagery of what Bangor looks like, you know, a little bit Harry Potter-esque, I think, with some of the areas, which is quite cool. So yeah, if you've got any Potterheads here, you know, definitely a place to come visit. But yeah, just a real imagery there so you can see what makes Bangor special and what makes Bangor unique as well. I've got here just our different subject areas. So, you know, you watching today may have already had an offer or you may be looking still. So these are the kind of different subject areas we cover. We do have 200 different programs. So chances are there probably is a program that suits you here. It's just a matter of diving in and seeing what programs kind of come under these subject areas, really. Some of our key standouts, you know, our accounting, bank and finance, we're very high ranked in that. Our business school is ranked in the top 25 in the UK. Our environmental sciences, we're one of the top in the world. And, you know, our location very much lends itself very well to those kind of subjects. Again, forestry and land management, really key. Our law school, we've got a fantastic law school here as well. Ocean sciences, again, we're one of the top in the world for ocean science. Psychology, again, psychology, we're very big. We're one of the biggest research centres for psychology departments in the whole of Europe. So, you know, a lot of top research comes from a Bangor departments there as well. So, yeah, fantastic there. And, you know, all our other programs very highly ranked as well. And we have some great accolades throughout. I'm going to slightly touch base on our business school and our psychology department. So, you know, we have a whole range of different products and programs. So they're some very niche. I mean, we do MSc and MBA, Islamic banking and finance, which is very, you know, niche program, but we do have lots of students who come specifically for that program. As I mentioned, we're top 5 in the UK for our accounting and finance. We're top in the whole of the UK universities in the research field of banking. And very recently, we've been voted 3rd out of 85 for the overall measures in the postgraduate tour experience survey. So that's a survey that's completed by every single business student in the UK. And then overall, we got 3rd. So we're really proud of that. And, you know, we think what we're teaching students within our business school is clearly resonating very well with the students there, and kind of very much says to you, if you're looking to come do a business degree or accounting and finance degree, that we're one of the top ones that you should be coming to look at and really there to support you as well. Then our psychology department, as I mentioned, you know, we are ranked very highly for our psychology. You know, we're number 2 in Wales for psychology. 85% go on to work within 15 months after course. And then, you know, another large percentage of them go on to do further research because it's so heavy in our research in our psychology department. 8th in the UK for our student satisfaction out of all the hundreds of, after over 100 universities, we're top 8 for student satisfaction within the psychology department. So yeah, huge accolades. And again, some very niche programs like, you know, neuroimaging, or if you're looking to just do a wider one, you can do a master's in psychology. So there's great different ones there as well. And obviously we have the undergraduate programs as well, which give you great hands-on experience. All of our courses do have practical elements. So, you know, you will get to put that theory into practice in any subject you choose. So that's really key. And obviously we are very, very like modern in many ways as well. So technology really does play a large part for many of our different programs. You know, just for example, our creative writing and English literature, they've started bringing in modules around AI and the writing that AI completes and how you will kind of analyze that. So yeah, really exciting new ways of thinking, new modern ways of thinking as well go on throughout the whole of the university. And I don't imagine as many universities will start thinking about AI within English language, like English language and English lit. So yeah, you would be coming to study at a university that really does bring modern technologies and modern thinking to the forefront of your education. As I said, some of you watching may have already applied and you may be a bit further on in the stage of application process. Some of you may just be starting, which is absolutely fine. I've got the entry requirements here. As Indian students, you do get an IELTS waiver if you have 65% or more in your English 12th. And there's no time frame on that at all either. So, if you did your 12th 6-7 years ago, you can still use it if you scored 65% or more. As you can see, our entry requirements here for the undergrads are 65% in your HSC 12th. For some boards, we do have higher entry requirements and some do have mandatory English language tests. And then also for our postgraduate, on average, most of our courses will ask for 55%. Some do ask for 50, some do ask for 60, but on average, majority of our courses in the postgraduate side will ask for 55%. And again, for postgraduates, you've got that English language waiver. So if you've scored 65% or more in your 12th, you can use that to not have to go ahead and do an IELTS or a PTE or TOEFL or anything like that. As I mentioned, some courses do have slightly higher entry requirements, higher English entry requirements. So when you're applying, you'll find that on our website. But you can do your application and the admission team will be able to sort of tell you, oh, you've not quite hit it. This is what we need for the entry requirements. We do consider mature students on a case by case as well. Just to give you sort of an understanding of how our processes work, is if you are a mature student or if you've got backlogs, long study gaps, your application, but you've got like the entry requirements, your application will be reviewed by the school. So, there's a slightly longer process if you've kind of got those elements, but we don't say no or anything like that. What we do is we try and make sure the school have fully reviewed your experience, your education, and review, will this cohort be right for you? And that's a key thing in all of our ways of working. We want to make sure you're getting value out of your education. We wouldn't want you to come and do a program that isn't right for you, or you're not going to learn anything from it if you've been out working for a number of years. What will you gain from this course? And that's what we look for in your understanding of when you're applying. The application process, very simple. SIUK are here to be able to help you with that as well, which is great. But what kind of key points you do need is you need a CV. You need a good CV with what history you have. What have you done? If you've got any work experience and internship opportunities, that's great. That really does help boost up your CV as well. And that's something maybe you should be looking at constantly, is what kind of work experience, what kind of internships can I get in the field I'm looking to go down? Your personal statement, again, very important. Why do you want to come study in the UK? Why do you want to study at Bangor? Why this course? And those are the kind of questions that you should be answering. And, a bit of a research element back on you. Why is it the UK? Why have you chosen the UK as a place to come study? Obviously, we know it is a great place to come study, has great professors, great education standards. But, why Bangor as well? What, as I mentioned, one of our location is such a key selling point. Is it that what you're looking for? Is it you're looking for a great place to come study with a lovely natural environment? You would need a reference. So, it's only one reference if you're coming maybe straight from education back into a postgraduate or from school into undergraduate. If you have been out for 2 years or more, then you would be needing 2 references. But again, that's all something that can easily be obtained by yourselves and by the support of SI UK. And then finally, your academic transcript. So we need to be seeing your transcript again and understanding of, what grades have you got, what modules have you done, as they're really important to some of the different programs as well. We do obviously have set deadlines as well. So postgraduate, you missed the UCAS deadline, but undergraduate, sorry, you missed the UCAS deadline, but that's okay. We still accept direct applications for undergraduates. So you've got until August 1st to get your application in for undergraduates. And then for postgraduates, it is the 20th of July for September intake to get your application in. So, you've still got plenty of time to get your application in and come study at Bangor, which is great news for you. We obviously have our January intake, and we are actually running a May intake for this year, which applications close, deposit deadlines are around the 12th of April. So you've still got a month or so, I think. Yeah, a month. Just trying to remember the date then myself. But yeah, for a May intake, we do have a certain number of subjects available for students. I've got here a little breakdown of the fees and also the average cost of living at Bangor. So as the video showed, we are a low cost of living area, so your money does go further in Bangor, which obviously makes your life easier and you can do a lot more, which is really key and important to your well-being. So you can see here the average cost of tuition fees. I'm going to touch on scholarships as well just after this, but just so you're aware, you do get some automatic scholarships. So as you can see here, those fees are without scholarships. So automatically those fees will be coming down quite heavily. And then as you can see here, kind of the average breakdown of cost of living. So, overall for a year of study, you need around £7,000 to £11,000 for the year. You have to, as part of your visa, show you've got £9,000 of worth living costs. And that's for every UK university. You have to show that living cost fee for a visa. And, you can see that sits smack bang comfortably in the middle of what your kind of average costing is in Bangor, which is really great that you've got that understanding and knowledge as well. But, with that money, you can live in Bangor. You don't need to really look for a part-time job. You can focus maybe a bit more on looking at your work placements or your internship opportunities. Saying that though, there are part-time job opportunities as well. So if you wanted to pick up a part-time job, that's available as well. Got here are different scholarship opportunities as well. So as I mentioned, there are automatic scholarships. So the international scholarship down the bottom there is one of the automatic scholarships. So just for being an international student, you will receive a scholarship. On average, you'll probably receive around £3,000. So, if I jump back quickly to a cost of maybe I'm just looking at our postgraduate courses, you're looking more at it being around 15 to 21,000 on average. There's also the Dean Scholarship as well. So the Dean Scholarship is for the first class students, so for very high scoring students. They can get up to 5,000 for PG, 6,000 for UG, which obviously makes a bigger dent, which is obviously great for you. We have a Global Wales Scholarship as well. So Global Wales is part of the Welsh government. So although the UK has their overall government, we also have a Welsh government, and they do a lot to promote international students coming to study in Wales. They understand the importance of international students coming to study. So yeah, they do their own scholarship as well, which is done on an application form. And then we have a Vice Chancellor Scholarship. So the Vice Chancellor Scholarship is a £10,000 scholarship. Again, it's based on an application form. So you have to have an offer to then make the application for this one. It closes in April for the September intake. So if you are an offer holder and you haven't done it, I'd recommend getting onto our website and searching for a Vice Chancellor Scholarship. If you're looking to apply, and you want the scholarship opportunity to get the scholarship, sooner you apply, the better, more chance you can have of getting that scholarship. We do have multiple of them to give away. So, it's worth going for. It's really key that if you want that, it's worth going for, just because, sometimes there's a mentality you might not get it. But if you're a very good student, you've got good experience and you're very passionate, go for it. You never know. There's always more that we give away. So 100% go for it. Okay. And then finally, the last bit I'm going to really be touching on is our careers team. So they do a lot of support for students. So they'll offer students one-to-one support. So they'll help you with your CV writing, cover letter writing, how to apply, interview prep. So they'll do a lot of support there for you as well. They do specific international career training as well. So we understand that, when you're coming to study in the UK, applying for jobs is slightly different in the UK than it is back in India. So how do you do all that? What is the whole process to that? So we do specific training for international students. They help with work experience support as well. So they get many companies come to them with different internship opportunities, different part-time work opportunities. So they'll help you in support finding that part-time work, finding those internship and work support as well, which is really key. They'll do different career counselling. So maybe you don't know what your career path's going to be. Maybe you're not sure where you want to end up. But they'll help counsel you through that, and they can help kind of put that plan in place for you to understand the steps that you need to take to get where you want to get to. And then finally, the Be Enterprising programme, which again is in partnership with the Welsh Government, where any student who graduates from a Welsh university are able to apply to get funding to set up their own business in Wales. So it's a great opportunity there to possibly look into and get involved in that. And finally, one of the big questions I get asked by students is, oh, because of where Bangor's based, do I get to meet the big companies? Well, do I get opportunity with the big companies? And the answer is yes. This is so you can see some very big companies there, and they all come to the different career days, for different open days to meet our students, to be able to talk to our students, to be able to tell them of the different opportunities there are. So being based in Bangor doesn't limit you to the opportunities that are available. And as I mentioned, we are very high ranking. We have got some very great accolades as well. So, those companies look for our students because of that. And that is the end of the presentation. So I'm going to stop sharing and then I'm going to introduce you to Pranshu, who's going to just tell us a little bit about himself, why he chose Bangor, what his experience like was at Bangor, and what program he did. And then hopefully there might be a few more questions following on from that. So Pranshu, if you are able to share your screen, share your image and your mic and just take it away.
Sure, I'll do that. I'm just in the middle of I'm putting an image on my background.
No worries.
If I'm visible to you. Hi everyone, my name is Pranshu.
You're not visible yet, Pranshu, sorry. It's one big blur. Oh, there you go.
Hi.
Hey.
So, my name is Pranshu. I studied in Bangor University, batch of 2018-2019. And I did my master's in finance from Bangor University. And since then, I came back to India. I've worked in several places and currently I'm working as a wealth and portfolio manager in Tata Capital. So I couldn't agree more with Callum when he said about the rankings and the social activities, clubs, student unions, and everything about Bangor University. It was a great experience for me while I was there and I was studying, and I had a chance to meet people around different cultures, diversities, and communicating with them and gaining more confidence in myself as well as in the things which I was studying. So it was one of a great experience. And Bangor University also offers the excursions, the getaway trips to Llandudno, Aberfalls, and zip lining. And they also give us a tour of the whole university in which different subjects have been taught, the classrooms and the teachers. And I was in the Bangor Business School. So Bangor Business School, while I was there, they gave us a tour on the Bangor Business School and as well the teachers who will be teaching us and everything. So I chose Bangor because, for me, it was a quiet place. I've studied about it. I have had my friends over there who were there and they told me that it's a quiet place and you'll get to learn more about it. And while I was there, it was great for me because I chose one of the reasons why I would chose Bangor University because of my CFA program. And the things I enjoyed the most over there was socializing with people, meeting people around the world, going ahead with the Indian community, meeting new friends and staying in touch. I'm still in touch with some of my friends and they will always be, in my heart, even if we are in different cities, states or countries. So I would love to answer any questions if.
Yeah, perfect. You see, I suppose if there's any questions come through, it'd be really good.
Thank you so much for giving us this insightful presentation. Now time for Q&A session. I will call out the question from the YouTube chat box. So the first question is, are there any support services available for international students to help them find jobs in the UK after they graduate or while they are studying?
Yes, there is. So as I mentioned, our careers team help with finding part-time work. Pranshu, I don't know if you want to talk. I know we've had a conversation about part-time work. Do you want to talk about how you found part-time work and stuff like that? 'Cause I think you got 3 jobs, I think, if I remember rightly. You did
I
3
had
different part-time jobs, yeah.
I've changed 3 part-time jobs in Bangor. Like the first step is to get your NI number from Liverpool. And since after you get that NI number, you are eligible to work in the UK anywhere. and you have 20 hours of work while you are studying as a part-time. You can work in, there are factories over there which is very busy during Christmas times, and there is a club over there in Bangor University as well. You can work in Asda, Tesco, Aldi, I think that's around down the Love Lane. Uh, there are many restaurants as well on the high street where you can find part-time work. It's not that difficult. But just the main part is to get your NI number and get a bank account.
Yeah, I think Prancha as well, you were saying about, I think if I remember rightly, when you telling me about how you had one job and then a friend had another job and they helped you get that second part-time job, if I was remember rightly.
That's right.
Which, yeah, I think obviously really key is obviously that networking with your cohort and your like people around you can really help you in finding part-time work. So yeah, it's really important that, you know, you are socializing as it's a key part of like UK universities. And then, yeah, I suppose after university, you do have the careers team support for an extra 3 years. So, you know, you can continue to use that career support for 3 years after you graduate. And even then, you know, you still want to be able to use those connections to be able to help you maybe after you've graduated as well, because they can still help you find full-time work as well. So there's lots of different opportunities and different support networks that happen within the career department.
Okay, next question is, what criteria do you use to choose applicants? What qualities are you seeking in applicants?
Yeah, with it, I suppose obviously there's the entry requirements. So we're looking for someone who hits those entry requirements. That's really key. And then from there, you know, when it comes to the personal statement, we're looking to get kind of an understanding of who you are, you know, what you've done. Have you had any experience related to that program? Why you think that program suits you? What your career path is? You know, I think especially one of the key things is we like to be able to brag about our alumni, like for example, Pranshu here. We like to be able to have that chance to be able to show off our alumni. So, you know, when we find a student who has an idea of what they want from their career, why they think this program will help further their career, that's something we're really looking for. Obviously, not all students and not everyone knows what they're looking for. They kind of have a passion maybe for it. So, you know, we're either looking for you to have a passion in that subject, or we're looking for you to really have an understanding of why doing this program will help further you professionally.
How are MBA fees structured and are there any scholarship opportunities available?
Yep, sure. So yeah, there are MBAs. So the MBA is 19,500 for the year. You can join as a fresher onto the MBA as well, which is really important to note. So you can pay it in 3 installments during your time with us. So you can either, you know, that's the only other way you can do it. You can do it in 3 installments, 2 installments, or pay it all in one go. There are scholarships, so you get an international scholarship automatically. So that's up to £4,000. On average, for Indian students, it is £3,000. So you'd be looking roughly around £16,500 for the MBA. And then if you're a very high performing student, you could get the higher scholarship, which is up to £5,000 as well. So, you know, you're looking more likely of it being 16,500 for it. And again, you can structure the payment in 3 payments.
Can you please tell me the deadline for September 2024 intake and if there is any scholarship available?
Yeah. So for undergraduate, it's the 1st of August. Postgraduate, the application deadline is the 20th of July. So it's, you know, still plenty of time, really. Scholarship, as I mentioned, you'd get an automatic scholarship. So there's an automatic international scholarship. And then there is the Vice Chancellor Scholarship, which is up to £10,000, which closes in April. So that closes towards the end of April if you wanted to go for that £10,000 scholarship.
Does the university provide work visa post MBA?
Yes. So students will be able to go to a post-study work visa after they've graduated. So that's not just for MBA, it's any program. Students can go for the post-study work visa.
Now it has been increased to 2 years, right?
2 years, yes. So it's 2-year post-study work visa.
While I was there, it was 4 months.
Yeah, so there you go. Yeah. So obviously big change, I think, like I say, obviously the last just before COVID, I believe that changed in it. So yeah, so 2 years now you get to stay. Which obviously, Prancio, I suppose, do you have any experience of anyone you know who stayed in the UK and got sponsorship after? Do you have experience of that with, I know you went back to India, but do you have any colleagues who stayed after?
I have some of my friends who stayed after, but they were before their like they did their graduation as well from there.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
That
Yeah,
was a
similar.
different scenario.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
How big is the Indian community at Bangor University?
Yeah, so it is. It's in our top three for international students. So on average, we have around 2,000 international students, and it's in our top three. So South Asia as a whole is our biggest region. So there's lots of different South Asian communities kind of thing, and we have our there is an Indian society as well. Pranshu, I don't know if you want to again. I know Pranshu, you've talked to me about like how your little community of friends, and I remember you saying about how you went round to someone's apartment and now he's opened up a restaurant in North
Correct.
Wales, an Indian
Correct.
restaurant. But I don't know if you want to talk about the Indian community while you were there.
Like there is a huge student in the Indian community. We while I was there, we used to go out in clubbing. We used to go out in restaurants, and there are events, cultural events, like not only for Indian society but for all societies, like majorly Chinese and like you said, Southeast Asians and everything. There were events, and there is a cultural thing also, right? The gala, I remember, in which all the cultures you know say and do things which were about their own cultures. Saying about the Indian community, it is quite huge, and you'll get to know more people and network with them, stay in touch. And like there was a friend of mine who came back, who was in Bangor University in 2020, sorry, and now he has opened a restaurant in Hilly. I don't know how to pronounce it now.
It's
So
been a while since
now
you tried Welsh, I suppose.
yes, and there are restaurants on the high street which are like Indian restaurants as well. So the Indian community is good, and they all are helpful. Like not only the Indian community, but all communities. If you go to your professors, and if you ask anyone on the roadside, and if you meet someone known, they'll be able to help you. And moreover, the student union in Bangor University is good. They'll make you meet on the cultural events and socializing in the Fredward village. I remember on summers, like you said, the barbecue. It is a good time to know more about people and find your own friends.
So I've covered all the questions from the YouTube chat box. Thank you for answering all the questions so well. Do you want to share any final words?
Um, yeah, I suppose Pranshu, it'd be really good to know. I said, I think you've touched on really, what you enjoyed most about Bangor. I suppose, what would you give to any student who is a bit, not sure about coming to study in the UK, not sure about coming to study in Bangor? What would you say to that? What would you say to your younger self about coming to study?
Like if I had known about Bangor, I would have come earlier.
Well, that's a really nice sign off, I think.
But the ones who are applying and those who are already selected, I would tell them like it is a good place. It is a really quiet place. It will give you a lot of time to be with yourself. It will give a lot of time to be with your friends, socialize, make networks, be in touch with your professors and everyone. Bangor University has given me a chance to meet new people from all cultures, and I'm still in touch with many of them. We keep you know be on video calls on WhatsApp, and we stay in touch so that everyone knows. we have I've been invited to a Welsh wedding next year.
Nice. They get a bit messy, I think.
And there was an event also in like the Wales community event last week. Remember I attended it in India. So many of the students were there from Bangor University. I met 4 or 5 of them, and there was like a band as well. They used to play in Fredward village. I've met them.
Oh, awesome. That's
So,
cool.
you know,
Yeah.
this is the thing about Bangor University. They keep you involved and, take us all together.
Yeah. And I think like Wales, as you mentioned, like obviously there's Global Wales. I think I mentioned it in my presentation. And Prancha, as you said, you went to one of their events a couple of weeks ago. But Wales as a country is very welcoming to international students. I mean, as I said, Global Wales as a project, they're working on trying to keep building that sort of student base, especially from India. That's one of their key target areas in trying to make sure that, students do feel welcome and students want to come study in Wales because it is a fantastic place to come study. It is a lovely place. There's a great mix of diversity there. The Welsh people are very friendly as well. They're very proud people as well, the Welsh people.
They
There's a
are.
lot of like national pride as well. So it's a great place to come be and study as well. So yeah, obviously, I hope you've managed to learn a lot. I don't know, obviously, if we've had some people who are watching who are new offer holders or are like still looking to apply, but obviously, feel free to get in touch with us here at Bangor. SAUK are able to help you as well, and we'll be able to help support you during your whole application process.
So thank you so much, everyone, for your valuable time. All the audience, if you have any further questions, please feel free to contact the SIUK India office. For more update, do follow us on our social media handles. Bye bye. Take care.
Bye.
Bye. Thank
Bye.
you so much, Callum. Thank you so much,
No worries.
Pranshu.
Thank you. Bye bye
Thank you,
then.
Yuktri. Bye,
Thanks,
Kalam.
Pranjal. All right, good to see you again.